MSMF Radio. Music. One language. Welcome back. This is Carol Jones with MSMF Radio. I am super duper excited because I'm sitting next to Matt Hines. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
That's good. How was your drive in?
It was a little bumpy. I got pulled over, but talked my way out of it.
Oh, you talked your way out of a ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I might need some tips on how you did that.
I think the baby had something to do with it.
Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned your baby. You have your lovely wife and your son here in the studio with us. That's super awesome. Well, let's get right into it.
Okay.
I'd love to know, has being a Mississippian helped you find your sound as a musician?
I think it has. I was originally born in Abilene, Texas, and I moved here at a young age. And it's really put more soul into my singing, I guess. I grew up in a church that focused on harmonies. We didn't have instruments. We were Church of Christ. My dad's a preacher.
Oh, really?
And
awesome.
so it's really affected my voice, I think. I'm more of a bluesy tone than I would have had, I think.
Really? Were your parents super supportive of you growing up?
Very much, very much. They put me in piano at a young age. And
How old?
I was about 5 when I started piano, and I didn't start guitar till about college. And I played saxophone in junior high and high school.
Awesome. I love the saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that's hard to learn to play.
You know, it didn't really register with me being hard. It was just something I had to do every day, just being in school. So now it's relatively easy.
Wow. So you started singing in church. Do you have any special memories of singing in church?
I do. I've had to lead several times in my dad's church, and so with no musical instruments, it can get kind of out of key. So, but it's always been a good experience.
That's the best practice, that foot stomp in church.
Oh, yeah.
There is nothing else. Either you sound good or you don't.
Or you don't. That's right.
Well, I know recently you have got some special accolades for your songwriting.
Yeah.
Can you tell me something about that?
Yeah, it was the Cotton District Arts Festival here in Starkville. And actually my professor is the one who told me to enter it. He kind of helped organize things. James Sabaski at Mississippi State.
Oh, awesome.
And I put in my song, Based It on a Feeling, and it got first place, and I made a little money off of it. And I didn't realize the festival was one of the largest in the region, and so it was a fun experience.
Good for you. I love that song, by the way. I've spent a lot of time listening to it. Tell me about your songwriting process. How did you come up with that song?
I go by the motto of a good artist copies and a great artist steals. Pablo Picasso, I think, said it at one point, and I'm sure a few others. But my inspiration was Darius Rucker.
Oh, I love it.
He, comeback song and all that. And actually, what I did on Base It on a Feeling was I swapped the chords for comeback song, and it just came out with a really cool sound. And I just sat down, and it was the second song I've ever written, and it just kind of took a life of its own, I think.
Wow, it is very special. Was there a certain thing that inspired you? Those lyrics?
Oh, yeah. The first verse says something about it's the Saturdays and the cold feet on the back of my legs. It's my wife's feet on the back of my legs. And those little simple things are what I was writing about.
Oh, that's awesome. How do you sharpen your skills as a songwriter? Do you stay?
I read a lot.
Okay.
I read anything I can get my hands on. And I take inspiration from that. Movies. Watch a lot of movies and listen to what people say very, I guess, intensely. I'm sure some people wonder why I'm staring at them so hard. I'm trying to pick up that next hook, I guess.
That's kind of awesome. Do you like certain types of movies, like The Notebook, or like what types of older movies?
I like one of my favorites, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, yeah.
And that's, based in Mississippi, so it's
at the dam up here. They shot some of it.
Right. And I'm actually currently working on writing songs for an EP that's kind of based around that movie and the Odyssey, the Iliad and Odyssey, which is kind of what Art Thou was based on. I'm trying to get inspiration from that.
Awesome. So is there a song that you've written that you're most proud of?
That's a tough one. I would say Based on a Feeling, but I've recently written 2 I'm pretty fond of. Devil May Laugh is one that I'd like to get on the keyboard for you, but
I would love that. We have to get that arranged.
Oh yeah. It's one of my favorites, and it deals with addiction. Both of our families, my wife and I, we've had addiction in our family, and I'm sure most people have.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people struggle with. And it's interesting that you say that because when you can write a song about that and so many people can relate to something like that, it gives you an extra kind of power. People can, you know, and it helps those people not to feel so bad about it, knowing that other people are struggling with it too.
Right,
and
definitely.
You still can be productive.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can overcome things.
Grow from it.
Right. So I heard you mention the keyboard, and I saw you walking with your guitar. Tell me about the instruments that you play.
The keyboard is my longest running instrument, I guess. I started when I was 5, I think I said earlier, and I was doing classical, and it wasn't until, I guess, 2 years ago that I really started doing just based off pop chords.
Okay.
And kind of just doing it by ear and doing different forms. Guitar, I say I'm more of a rhythm player. I mainly strum out chords and try to figure out little melodies on it.
Okay.
And then, of course, the saxophone was, I'm reintegrating that into my music now, I think.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned that you would love to play Based on a Feeling. I think that would be a great time.
Okay.
A great time for you to go ahead and show us what you got.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, take a listen. Here we have Matt Hines with Based on a Feeling.
Saturday, cold feet on the back of my legs. I base it on a feeling. I base it on a feeling. Old jeans and a glass of sweet tea, holding her while she's staring at me. I base it on a feeling. I base it on a feeling. It warms my soul. It carries me. If you let go, your life will be free. There's no better way to live your life, I say. Base it on a feeling. Base it on a feeling. Don't let it get away. Time flies before you can say, I should have came to reason. And based it on a feeling. 10:30 in the family pew. Ain't a better thing. I'm telling you, I base it on a feeling. I base it on a feeling. Whoa, reading out on the front porch with some friends and the same old chords. I base it on a feeling. I base it on a feeling. It warms my soul. It carries me. If you let go, your life will be free. There's no better way to live your life, I say. Base it on a feeling. Just base it on a feeling. Don't let it get away. Time flies before you can say, I should have came to reason. And base it on a feeling. People come and say to me, you just ain't right. I just laugh and smile at them. This is how I live my life. There's no better way to live your life, I say. Base it on a feeling. Just base it on a feeling. Don't let it get away. Time flies before you can say, I should have came to reason. Based it on a feeling. Yeah, there's no better way to live your life, I say. Base it on a feeling. Just base it on a feeling. Don't let it get away. Time flies before you can say, I should have came to reason. Based it on a feeling.
Wow. That is awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You play so beautifully. But your voice, your voice is amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
It really is. How do you take care of your voice?
I actually went to state for voice, Mississippi State, and I do a lot of technique training and drink a lot of water, tons of water. I do not drink Cokes. I try to stay away from caffeine, but I got to have my coffee.
I know, me too.
You know, being a teacher. But yeah, that's about it. Just keeping the practice up.
Wow, that's really good advice. Your wife, she had mentioned earlier, and you guys both are teachers.
Yes.
And you have a super busy schedule. How do you manage to stay focused in your career and balance family and relationships?
It can be rough at times. Here lately, things have just started to really pop off, and me traveling a good bit, and it's just kind of a learning process, I guess. And the key is to just have the love, and she's been really supportive of my music, and she's really the reason I started even pursuing it. So that kind of helps to have someone backing you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So your family's super supportive.
Oh, yeah.
How about your friends?
Friends are very supportive, very supportive.
That's really, really cool. So do they come out to your shows?
Oh, yeah.
Come out in droves?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They come out whenever they can. It's really good to see.
That's really, really cool. So let's talk about performing live.
Okay.
How do you feel, being out there in front of so many people?
I love it.
Do you?
It's the best feeling in the world. I've considered just being a songwriter, but I can't. Anytime I get out there, I'm reminded of just performing and how it makes me feel.
Really? Do you love just being out there and being able to work the stage and connect with people?
I do.
Do you get nervous at all?
Yeah, definitely, I do.
Really?
Yeah, my wife will tell you. She's had to calm me down a couple of times. And
Really?
It used to be real bad, but I just worked it through now.
What did you do to calm them down?
She almost slapped me and told me,
get out there.
Yeah.
Go a little Joe Jackson on you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's super cool. So can you maybe share any tips to people out there to quell their nerves before they go out on the stage?
Just breathe. I actually picked up tactical breathing, honestly. It's
Really?
You kind of breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and breathe out, and just go out there and do it.
Wow, I've never heard that before, tactical breathing. Okay, I'll have to try that. I get a
yeah.
little nervous
Oh, do
sometimes. Yeah. So how much do you practice?
I play every day.
Yeah.
If it's piano, guitar, singing, or anything, I'll try to make sure at least an hour I have something. And I'm lucky enough that I am a teacher and I have downtime, so my lunch breaks are normally my practice time.
Do you play like in the teacher's lounge?
I have my little keyboard in my room that I toy around
that's
with.
Cool. So tell me about, does your principal know that you're a performer and your
Oh yeah,
students?
they. I don't think they knew at first. I had a audition in Houston. It was for the show The Voice, and they told me they were going to call me back, but they had no idea that's where I was going. They just thought I'd been out and stuff. So they're supportive of me.
Really? Tell me more about that, auditioning for The Voice. Whoa.
I did a song, kind of a medley of Want You Back and Forget You. And they saw a video of it on YouTube, and they reached out to me and said, why don't you come out to Houston? And so I flew out there, and it was a fun experience. I met some very cool people.
I bet. Who'd you meet?
Just various artists who do the route. Matt Caldwell's one. He's a country singer who does the Texas Southwest route. And he was probably the coolest person I met. Forrest Lipton's another one. She does the West Coast. So it was fun.
Would you mind playing a little bit of that medley for me? Here we have Matt Hines performing a medley of
Want You Back and Forget You. Always make you stand out in a crowd. Someone took you from the bunch. One look was all it took. Now it's much too late for me to take a second look. Oh, darling, give me one more chance. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Oh, darling, I was blind to let you go. Now since I've seen you in his arms, I want you back. I want you back now. Well, I see you driving round town with a girl I
coolest teacher. I'm so mad. I come none of my teachers were this cool. That's cool. So are you performing right now?
I am. I'm doing a good bit of just various venues like Soul Shine and Burgers and Blues down in the Jackson area. Currently working on a new project, getting a band together called Vaudeville, which Vaudeville kind of is like a circus show, I guess it was from back in the day. It was a traveling show where various acts would get together, and it stems from presumably from the French term vaudeville, which is voice of the city. So I always thought that was a cool name, and they liked it. So
I love it. So how's that process of finding a band working out for you?
it's going pretty good. We've got several members. We just now picked up a drummer. We've had an amazing lead guitarist, Tim Reeves. My fellow songwriter, John Thompson, was the one who actually approached me with it, and we're getting a mandolin player in on it. We're kind of doing a jam band harmony type thing.
A mandolin.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. You don't hear that all the time.
No.
I love it. That makes it different. I like that.
And we have everything from mandolin to saxophone. So
Well, I wish you much success with that. That's awesome.
Appreciate
Keep us
it.
posted on that. So, do you have any favorite songs to perform?
Favorite songs. Oh yeah, Free. I think would have to be my favorite one. Free by Zach Brown Band.
Oh yeah, I like that song.
And they kind of do a combination of their song Free with Into the Mystic by Van Morrison, and I love it.
I was just thinking, you were talking about YouTube. I love covers. Like I can spend hours and hours on YouTube. And one of my favorite covers is of I Want You Back with Lake Street Dive.
Oh,
have you heard them?
I haven't
They are
heard that
awesome.
one. I've heard of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have that.
Need to check them out, huh?
Take Your Own Liberties. I like that. 'Cause you took some liberties with that song. I
Oh,
love it. I love it. Do you prefer performing live, or do you like to be in a studio?
It's kind of a different experience on both. I love when I first recorded in the studio. I'd never experienced it before. It was freeing, but I keep going back to performing live. It's where it's at.
Really?
I love it.
Really? That's so awesome. Talking about being in the studio, is there any way that you prepare to get the most out of your recording sessions?
Yeah, I actually, before I even consider a song for an album, I'll go through and I'll ask, people close to me, should this be on the album? Is it commercial enough? Because I'm writing to eventually make money, so I don't have to do anything else but perform. As far as getting prepped for the studio, I don't really know how I just did. I just walked in and I had a good enough recording staff that it just kind of took its own way.
That's kind of awesome. That's kind of awesome. I want to go back for 1 second. You were talking about we were talking about YouTube. Do you ever scroll down and look at those comments? How do you deal with criticism?
Criticism.
I can't imagine you get much, but
At first, when I first started it, criticism was rough to me. It was like an end all. My world would come crashing down. I just brush it off. I'm of the mentality of anti-fragile. It's a book I just read too. It's being the opposite of fragile, breaking under pressure instead of having things happen to you and break down, you grow from them.
That's right. I remember you tell me about that. So are there any musicians out there that inspire you?
Oh, I mentioned Zach Brown Band. I'm real into Jason Isbell right now.
Okay. I'm not familiar.
He's up and coming. He's won a couple awards being a songwriter. I love him. I love, there's a new guy, Levi Lowry. He's under the Southern Ground recording studio.
Awesome. So you mentioned those guys. If I scroll through your playlist, who would I find?
Well, you could find anyone from Claude Debussy to Biggie Smalls to just all kinds. I'm country at heart. It's in my blood. My aunt Jeanette Hicks was actually an up-and-coming country singer back in the 50s and 60s with George Jones. Things got in the way of that for us, so hopefully I'm going to carry on the legacy.
Well, I hope so too. Did she? Did you get to talk with her, and you ever talk shop?
Right about the time I started really getting into it, it was about a year after that she passed, so I only got to talk with her a little bit about it.
Wow.
But she was excited.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was thinking just now, you were talking about you like Biggie Smalls, and he's in your playlist. I know I was watching. I think like Tim McGraw and Nelly did something way back in the day.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I love that. That would be fun. I want to change the subject just for a little bit. I know you're working towards, being successful, and it just seems like the road to the record deal has kind of changed a little bit. Does that ever get frustrating for you
It
at all?
does. It very much does. I don't want to say that back in the day it was easier, because by no means it wasn't. You had to first be seen.
Yeah.
And with the internet, it's much easier to be seen.
Yeah.
However, that also saturates the market.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody plays well and everybody sings well. It's just kind of who you know and right place, right time.
Right. That's a good way to put it. You wonder sometimes, you don't want to be gimmicky.
Right.
Nobody wants to be that, because especially someone as talented as you, there's no reason for you. How do you stay motivated?
I honestly, going back to the criticism thing, that drives me out. If someone tells me I can't do something, I want to do it 2 times.
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Good for you. Where can I find your music?
You can find it at my website, matthinesofficial.com. iTunes, Amazon, Xbox Music. It's on all of the major online stores.
Awesome. Well, I have one last question for you. Why do you want to be a featured artist on MSMF Radio?
I think this is a good thing y'all have going on here. I just had a phone conversation yesterday about this type of organization in Mississippi being the birthplace of all kinds of American music, if not all. It needs it. We need a support. The musicians need a support, and this foundation could very well be that, and is for a couple of musicians already.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. I've enjoyed having you here, and I've learned so much, and I've enjoyed seeing your lovely family. That's so awesome. And I know, before we get you out of here, I know you wanted to play something on the keyboard.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Trying to find
Love it, love it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's just gorgeous.
Thank
Just
you.
gorgeous. Well, thank you so much for coming in and for playing with us and bringing your family. It was so great meeting
Tons
you
of fun.
all.
I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. We enjoyed you as well. And thanks to our listeners for tuning in. This is MSMF Radio. Love Mississippi, love music. It's just that simple. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Thanks so much. This is Carol Jones, and let's do this again real soon.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Thanks. Take care.